Do you think when I decided to go out and do something that I didn't know could work and had no evidence if it could work and I had no experience behind me to know it could work, do you think my parents and my family and everyone around me were supportive? Do you think they all sat down like, this is a great decision, Armin? You went from door to door selling to believing in some pipe dream of coaching. It is a nature of the journey you signed up for. But this will happen. You don't need to speed the program up. You need to slow down your insecurities around these things. It's more productive to sit alone in stillness and just cry it out and let the emotion express and move on. They all love you, but you need to love them so hard back to be able to hear all their doubts, all their negativity about this and stick to your gut. Your decision for you. You need to live your own life, no matter what boyfriend says, what mom says, what dad said, no matter what. Everyone in their journey has a choice to quit or not. We can't do anything about that. We'll never quit on you though. So if you're going to compare families in sense of taking influence from families, your family, personal family, they're maybe telling you this can't be done. But your SGC family, we're only telling you this can be done. You just choose which one you want to lean into. Either way, you're going to be fine. Life always works out. 50 years from now, we look back, we go, all the times we used to be upset about these things, it means nothing. All of it won't matter. You have to, attachment is an illusion. When you die, you won't remember this day. You won't remember the doubts. You won't remember the uncertainties. You won't remember what it feels like to spend money and make money. Death is just that. There's no options to feel any of it. So when you're feeling some of it, get excited. Like right now you go, wow, I get to feel scared and upset and angry and sad and all these things. You go, that's so beautiful. I get to feel all that. That's so cool. Look at it from that perspective. You're just getting to live another version of this life. You're just experiencing more of life. And not everything has to be fucking amazing all the time. Yeah. It's beauty. It's beauty. It's to see their limitations is beautiful. So it's not that the process is feeling undoubtful. It's not that, you think this can't work anymore. It's just that people's opinions are getting to you. If we just box it all into one category, it's just people's opinions that are getting to me, then we can just focus on this properly and go, so I have to decide what characters I want to build in me. Do I want to build the characteristic of succumbing to opinions or overthrowing opinions? And so this is all opportunities. When my mom would call me and give me so much shit about missing family get-togethers and how much I don't call her and call my brother and how not a part of the family I am. And I'd sit there in my office knowing that if I leave right now and I go to that family get-together to spend the next 7 hours either being triggered by something someone's saying, wasting time doing some nonsense, or wasting my life away while they all sit around being comfortable with their lives, miserably comfortable. I'm like, instead of sitting those 7 hours and finishing the course, taking more sales calls, doing follow-ups, making money, then a year from now, I'll sit in that same fucking get together with everyone and we're all still going to be losers. But if I don't go to this get together right now, if I allow my mom to keep making me sound like someone doesn't care, if I allow my mom to be upset, we're talking about letting go. I let my mom be upset with me. Let my brother not have a relationship with me. Let my family talk shit about me for not being there, whatever it is. If I let all the people online make fun of me, if I just keep letting it happen, but I keep going, the nature of what persistence is, then a year from now, I can invite them into my villa and they could talk shit and waste time all they want. But at least they're coming in my house, I could treat them and I feel good about who I am. This is the nature of the journey you sign up. So this is just like a first milestone you're hitting here. Emotional breakdown. Like this is amazing. You're going to have much more of these. Don't get comfortable. Just learn to express and let it go. You're going to see is that transforms you. The business transforms you. You're not building the business building you. As you keep building it, you'll see more of your insecurities will come out. Fears will come out. More of your past will come out. More of your anger will come out. More of your limitations. And when they come out like fish, like you're fishing, just express it. Emotions like poo. You just don't constipate yourself. Just let it out. Strength is in your nature as a human being. If you weren't strong, gravity would crush you right now into the ground. If you weren't strong in the spirits, by now you would have died or cut yourself out of this life because so many things have happened in your spirit too. You know this. If you weren't strong mentally, you'd be in a hospital by now. But you're building a company. There is no illusion of this path that you're not there yet. Strength is already in you. It's what you are. But you're also forgiveness and you're also patience and you're also love. So all these things could happen, but irrespective of what's happening, you can sit there and go, oh, there you are. That's so cute. If you really want to practice this kind of consciousness way of living, sit down in a really pitch black, dark room. That scares you. Sit in the middle of a dark room and just breathe. Anything that moves in the room, you go, oh, what is that? Just sit there and watch yourself react and go, oh, that's so funny. Look at me reacting. Because you know you're not going to die. Nothing's going to come out of the ground. Right? If that's not it, go to a very high building and just sit at the edge and look down and go, oh, there you are. My fear of heights. I'm saying put yourself in the line and watch yourself freak out just so you can remember that you're not the freaking out. And not only are you not the freaking out, it also is just an illusion what you're freaking out about or worried about. See, if people live like this, they live like they walk around with their own shadows, thinking they're being followed. They walk around and every time they turn around, they're suspicious. Who's that? And they're afraid of this dark figure following them around everywhere, always living in fear, always living in safety, making every decision in the best way possible so they can avoid pain and fear and all these bad things happening. Because who knows whenever this dark figure following me around and attached to me shows up again. And they always live on this cusp of what if this dark figure attacks me one day? See, it never does it. Never does. This dark figure never attacks you, never does anything, but always the anticipation of what if it does. All these fears in the future and the past, the illusions of those times will make you think, oh, it's always been around. What if it does? And you live on this, you're never like peaceful. Everything's like, you're just always breathing like this, as if like you're about to die. And see, spiritualism is just this. You one day look around, you look down, you see the shadow. You try to reach into the dark figure. And the closer you get to the dark figure, what does the shadow do? It gets smaller. When you step further away from your own shadow, the projection makes it bigger. So the more you run away from the shadow, the dark figure grows because you're running away from your own truth. When you're running away from the truth, everything in life, the smallest of problems feel like a mountain. When you lean in closer into the darkness, to see the truth, to face the fear, to face the pain, to face the past, to face your insecurities, face these things. You go lean. As soon as you get closer to the shadow, it gets smaller and smaller until you realize, oh my God, it doesn't exist. Because if I become one with the shadow, I am the shadow. I am the dark figure. How cool is that? And what happens is you wake up. Oh, wow. None of these things is worrying me, is real. All of it is just a projection of my own shadow. And if I want to get rid of them or not live in the fear of my own dark figure shadow following me around, then I just have to lean into it. So when you're feeling the pain, lean into the pain. When you're feeling afraid, lean into the fear. When you're being angry, lean into the anger. When you're feeling insecure or doubtful, lean into it. Because when you lean in, the illusion, like a mirage, it evaporates, it dissolves, and you go and you go, oh, it's just me. It's just another aspect of my humanness right now that I'm feeling. This journey only gets harder, but the peace you can have in your heart is that by default, you only get stronger. So see, lifting a 50-pound dumbbell is going to feel the same as lifting a 5-pound dumbbell when you've been doing this longer. I will tell you, in the essence of time, time is your best friend. The idea of the longer you wait in something, the longer you do it, eventually time has a nature of giving the person what they want, because they eventually give up and go, this person will never quit. So no matter what happens, I just want you to keep committing to not quitting. That's a great, you should write down, I want you to write down a piece of paper and put it in front of you where you work. I will keep committing to not quitting. It's a great line. It's a great one line. So every time you're tempted to quit, you go, I'm going to keep committing to not quitting. These are the few only most important traits you need to develop right now for long-term success in your life. I want you to see this, that in a way, when you look at things, not just linearly, there's a little bit of something in everything. Sometimes people will go, no, I'm not quitting. I'm just changing the path. No problem. But that means you had to quit the one path to open another path. So there's a little bit of something in everything. It doesn't mean to sit around and go, oh, maybe I'm a quitter. I'm not saying this. I'm just saying that in essence, then, if you're going to say you're not a quitter, don't quit in any way, not just in one way. Don't even quit on your own self when you're thinking about something. You know what I mean? Like when you're sitting there and you're thinking about doing something and you catch your own thought process quitting on itself. And you go, no, I'm going to keep thinking about it. I'm going to keep going with this. When you're meditating, you're sitting there, you eventually go, I'm getting tired. I should get up. See, there's a form of quitting in that too. If you get up, you say, no, let me go 10 minutes longer. I'm saying in that way, just keep committing to not quitting, and not just in the sense of, I'm going to succeed in life. I'm never going to quit on that, for sure. But then your path could be 100 times different every 5 months you're changing. But when you're not seeing is every time you're changing is not a type of quitting. The changing of your approach is one thing, but the changing of the goal is another. Don't ever change the goal. Don't quit on the goal. Don't quit on your own initial commitments, because even if you're wrong what you're doing, at least if you get to the end, you have a full closure on that decision so you can reflect and learn from it. If you were anything like me when I was younger growing up, and you keep changing halfway through every decision, see, there's nothing ever fully closed. Nothing ever fully learned. The only thing I learned was after years of changing things in between my decisions is that I don't know how to stick to something. See, there's no lesson to learn in that. So even if it's the wrong decision, go all the way with it so you can make sure it is, confirm it is, and learn from the fact that you made the wrong decision. And that way I say, keep committing to not quitting. Just let it be affected by beautiful feelings. You don't need to make it affected by sad feelings.